We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No. Motor leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. MOCA in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the check gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall.
Hello, 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 all of my beautiful people. Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I guess y'all saying to yourselves, what the hell is MOCA doing on at this time of the evening? Well, y'all know it's the holidays. Everybody's busy, and so is MOCA. So here we are. Here we are. Welcome, 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 guys. Tap that like button for your girl as you come into this room. We're going back to Chicago. We're going back to Chicago because we have some things to talk about. We're going to talk about the system. We're going to talk about the people. We're going to talk about the apartment complex. Baby, we have some things to talk about. And what better time to talk about it than now? So MOCA's going to do what MOCA does each and every time. Welcoming each and every one of you here. Hoping you all are well. Hoping you all had a great day. Rosalind, I see you, my love. Happy Tuesday, my beautiful sister Rashina. I see you, beautiful. Happy Tuesday. Tanya, welcome, boo. Happy Tuesday to you, Tony. I see you, my love. Happy Tuesday to you. My beautiful sister, Dr. J, checks in as always. Happy Tuesday to you, sister. Leah, welcome, my beautiful sister. Happy Tuesday to you. My girl, Tony, is here. Happy Tuesday. My beautiful sister, Deidre, I see you, my love. Sunshine, I see you, boo. I see you. Happy Tuesday, boo. Sassy, my sister. Happy Tuesday, love. Sean, I see you. I see you. I see you. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, boo. Let's see where we at. I didn't hit a button, child. As usual. Ann, hello, Ann. I see you, mama. Happy Tuesday to you, my love. Happy Tuesday. And I hope you all are doing well. I really hope you all are doing well. So here we are. Back doing what we do. Doing what we do. Essie, I see you, my love. Happy Tuesday. Cam, welcome, my love. Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you, Erica Red. I see you, my love. Hope all is well. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you, Sassy. Thank you so very much for the super sticker, my love. Love you even more, Ann. Love you even more, my girl. Y'all, like I said, we're going back to Chicago. We're going back to Chicago. But before we go any further, just want to say make sure you hit the like button. Engage with the emojis to the right. If you don't mind, share out the live. And buckle up. Buckle up. We got some exposure to go on in here tonight. Before we go any further, I have to say that the views that are expressed in this live stream is based on everything that's publicly available. News reports, statements from the families, and my opinion. My opinion. We don't accuse any minor of crimes that have not been legally established, and everything said tonight is commentary, discussion, and community awareness. Here we don't attack children, but we will address their damn behaviors. We're going to address the system. We're going to address the failures. And here we only leave room for the truth and for justice. So here we're going to talk about it. Thank you so very much, Sean B. Because yes, Lord, Chi-Town, here we come. Here we come. And what we're going to do, we're going to start off. Because this is how we got here. We got here, Chicago got in the spotlight based on the story of the mother that was attacked, her and her son. That's how we got here. The mother has been attacked left and right, claiming she's lied about this and she's lied about that. But she's human. She's human. She came out here and Miss Hatter came out here and she spoke for herself. Because before Chicago stepped in, before the news cameras rolled up, before this even went viral, this lady had already been warning the school, warning the housing complex, warning anybody that would listen that her son was in danger. And she said, I got a quote. She said, for 2 years, and they've done nothing. Those are her words. Those words were her truth. My beautiful sister Platt, I see you, sis. Welcome. Hope all is well. Y'all, imagine being a mama, telling the school over and over again that your baby is being bullied. Imagine telling that housing authority your windows are being busted out, your door is being kicked in. Kids were throwing bricks at your house. They even tried to start a fire outside your apartment, but yet everybody ignored you. My girl Red, I see you, boo. Happy Tuesday, my love. Imagine begging these people to step in and nothing changed. And then one day, your biggest fear happens. A pack of kids jump on you and your baby boy while the little sister watch in broad daylight, on camera, with the perpetrators recorded. And the perpetrator is the very same child who recorded another attack earlier this year. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Because what happened to this lady? It wasn't an incident. Really, it wasn't. It was a culmination. It was a buildup. It was a balling point. A mother screaming into a void and nobody hearing her until her pain became entertainment on the internet. 2 whole years. 2 years. That school looked at it in the face and basically said, that's not our problem. Two years of a housing complex that knew exactly who the troublemakers were. Because, baby, let me tell you, in public housing, everybody knows everybody, children and all, and they refuse to step in. And what hurts the most is that this didn't just start with the fight. It didn't start when the camera started rolling. It was long, slow, violent erosion of this woman's peace. And nobody cared until she was on that pavement. That child didn't want to go to school. Not because he was sick, but because he was scared. Because he knew he had to walk through that pack of wolves who bullied him for all these years. Do y'all know the psychological warfare that is? Do you know the kind of trauma that plants in a child's spirit and in his mother's heart? And then the day that she feared the most, it came. The attack actually happened. And that shit was planned long before it happened. And the sad part is, while she's sitting there, shaking, crying, bruised, hurting, trying to figure out where to go sleep next, listen to this. Some evil soul, some empty, trifling, heartless demon, because that seems to be what's in that complex, got online. They stole her name. They took this lady's pain. They took her tragedy and turned it into a $200,000 scam. A $200,000 scam. Y'all heard me, right? Somebody went and created a GoFundMe in this lady's name. Do y'all know the level of wickedness that gotta be? Looking at this lady beaten, bruised, battered, and saying, let me go steal a blessing. That lady came online begging. She said, y'all, it ain't me. It ain't me. I beg y'all. Please stop following the fake pages. Then she told them, please, y'all go get y'all money back. So there's a woman. Here she is. She's fighting kids in the street, fighting fear in the home, fighting a system that ignored her for years. And now she got to fight strangers on the internet stealing her name. And let me tell y'all something. This is the failure of a whole damn system. Not just the building, not just the school, not just the principal. It's A failure from the front office all the way up to the mayor's office. We got to call it for what it is. Because do you know how much has to go wrong? How many breaks in the system? How many ignored warnings? How much negligence? How much arrogance and laziness have to cause a train wreck at the same time for a mother to end up on the ground fighting for her life with her own children screaming next to her? It takes a village to raise a child. But apparently, in Chicago, it also takes a village to destroy one. And I'm going to say something that a lot of y'all been thinking, but ain't nobody saying out loud because I'm confused. I am confused as hell. Where? Where were the parents? Who in the hell raised this group of degenerates that think it's normal to jump a grown woman? And not only that grown woman, because I'm a let you all know that they also jumped and beat an autistic man until he blacked out. A 21-year-old autistic man. This shit is not normal, but they thought it was. These ain't no toddlers we're talking about. These ain't babies. They know what the hell they're doing. They got strategy. Simone, welcome, my love. Hey, Dorothy Ann, welcome, baby. Samantha, hey, beautiful, welcome to the chat. Happy Tuesday to you guys. See, these little degenerates, they're brave when they're in the pack. They know who to target. They know who's vulnerable, and they know who's scared. So again, where the hell are these mamas? Where the daddies? Where is anybody that's supposedly claiming these damn children when they're out here behaving like animals? Because here's what I know. Here's what I know. These children didn't learn this shit in school. They didn't learn it in no after school program. And they damn sure ain't learned it from no books. These children learn cruelty, chaos, violence, and disrespect at their house. You move like this if nobody has checked you before. You move like this if nobody ain't raising you. And you move like this if the adults in your life is scared of you, and I'll be damned. And these adults are co-signing this bullshit. Shell, baby, welcome, my love. These parents ain't stupid. They've been knowing their kids were terrorizing that community. They've been hearing the complaints. They've been getting knocks on their doors. They've been peeking through them blinds, them broken, cracked ass blinds, while their children out there wreaking havoc. They know it. Somebody saw their child come home with bruised knuckles. Somebody watched them kids leave the house in a group. Somebody saw them replay the video over and over again, laughing about it. Somebody saw that shit. But they ignored it. These grown-ass parents needs to be held just as accountable. Yes, I said it, just as accountable as their demon seed children. Kimberly Earls, welcome, my love. Because if your child is running around in the pack terrorizing families, guess what? You raise them. You unleash those animals. You fail them. You fail the community, sis. And if you can't raise your damn kids, say that. If you need help parenting, say that too. Melissa, welcome, my love. Happy Tuesday to you. If your child has behavior issues out of your control, bitch, say that. But don't send your child out into the world to become everybody else's burden, everybody else's problem, everybody else's nightmare while you laying up with the man or out there smoking weed, getting high. We talk about failed generation all the time. But what about the failed parents? What about the grown folks whose kids are out here committing assaults while they sit up on Section 8 watching Netflix, smoking weed, and posting subliminals on Facebook? You can't tell me these kids have time. Can't tell me that. You can't tell me they had the time, the energy, the phone, the camera, the plan, the group chat coordination, and not one adult notice? Not one? Baby, the math ain't math in the MOCA. And I'm going to say it. And whoever don't like it, MOCA just don't give a damn. Because if your child is out here jumping on the disabled, attacking mothers, dragging children, kicking in doors, throwing bricks, lighting fires, and terrorizing the whole damn community, you don't need custody of them. But you do need consequences. Because the apple never falls far from the damn tree. And that apple is rotted to the core. Rotted. Rotted, I say. And over there in Trumbull Park, where all this shit has been happening. Because, baby, we stepping inside a housing complex that's been on fire for years, and nobody wanted to talk about it. Emotionally, socially, structurally, and physically. Trumbull Park Homes. Chicago's Housing Authority property. CHA, that's what we're going to call it. Let me tell y'all something. The terror didn't start with Miss Hatter. Rashina, thank you, my love, for that super chat, boo. The terror didn't even start with her son. This mother was just the latest to get caught in the crossfire of a complex that's been mismanaged, undersupervised, and overlooked for generations. That complex is definitely not a quiet little section of housing. This ain't a kids riding bike and aunties on the porch type of place. Hell no. This place has history. This place has history. A long, ugly history. Look at my girl, Kristen. Hey, boo. Oh, I hope you feel better, Chris. This place has long, ugly history of violence, crime, neglect, broken security, no supervision, and generation of trauma packed into those raggedy ass units. 465 units to be exact. These are not my words, y'all. All of this is documented in public record. This complex has had cases of mold, respiratory problems in kids, maintenance that never happened, broken windows, busted locks, and for years, these residents have been begging for safety. Thank you, sis Sean. Appreciate that super chat, boo. And when a complex, I don't give a damn where it's located, if it's run down, understaffed, and undersecured, baby, guess what? You don't need a landlord because chaos is the damn landlord. This is what people don't want to talk about. These children didn't just wake up one day and become violent. That is the product of an environment where there's no functioning adults, no structure, no security, no accountability, and no damn consequences. These kids grew up in that project watching survival, nothing stable about it, watching chaos because ain't nobody gave a damn, watching violence because there was no value within the people that they were surrounded by. And when the environment is loud, when it's unsafe, when it's unsupervised, and packed with families struggling to survive, these children start raising them damn selves. And a child raising themselves will always choose survival tactics. They don't know shit about moral. These children didn't just attack this lady and her son. These children attacked a 21-year-old autistic man. They left him unconscious in the street. Not only did they leave him unconscious in the street, they filmed it. And that happened in this raggedy ass complex. And months before that, these same little no good ass children, right? They slapped a 10-year-old girl at the school. They broke into that mama's house. They kicked her door in. They started a fire outside of her apartment. Same damn children. Same damn building. Same complex. Same pattern and the same terror. And here's where shit really gets evil in my mind. Because the mother of the autistic child, she said, the ringleader. She said, the ringleaders, they live right above me. What? You living under your own attackers, ma'am? Your own stalkers, your own terrorizers, and that housing authority didn't move you? Didn't intervene, didn't separate the families, didn't diffuse this damn situation. That ain't housing, y'all. That's hostage conditions, you ask me. And this mother was raising an autistic child and a 10-year-old daughter under psychological warfare. But let's talk about, hey, whew, this is ridiculous. I can't get my mind around them jumping the autistic man. 21 years old. With autism. He was vulnerable. He was trusted and easy to intimidate. They attacked him so brutally, so mercilessly. They left him on that ground for damn near 30 minutes and had nerve to record it. He suffered head injury along with what he was already going through. And today he suffers with PTSD. They filmed it. CBS, this shit made the news. CBS confirmed that the same child, hear me out, the same child filmed both incidents. That's the devil in the details, y'all. CBS News in Chicago analyzed that footage from both attacks and said that the same child filmed both beatings. That's not a rumor. That's not a guess nor a speculation. CBS confirmed it. And then this child sent the video to the autistic man's mother just to taunt her, showing her what they did to her son. Had the audacity, the evil demonic energy to send that to that lady. For a child of that age, that's some wicked shit. You did it, you recorded it, and then you sent it to the mama like it's entertainment. At this point, it's no longer bullying. That's no scuffle. That's not a misunderstanding. That's terrorism from a midget. This young man said he was walking home from the grocery store. He knew that these children terrorizes the neighborhood. When he made eye contact with them, he walked in the opposite direction. Not because he did something wrong, but he knew what was coming. He said he was literally steps from his front door. He tried to reason with them because that's what a vulnerable person does. They try to de-escalate, but these damn children didn't care. They dragged him off the grass, pulled him into the street, stomped him, kicked him. This shit was intentional. And they chose him because he was scared. His mother said they picked on him because they knew he was scared. These kids are only targeting vulnerable people. They target the disabled, the quiet ones, the ones who don't fight back. So that explains why they targeted this mother. That explains it. So now, the same group of kids, you have two families 2 months apart, both terrorized by the same damn group of children, attacked in the same complex, recorded by the same damn child, both ignored by the same system. Unsupervised children have been allowed to terrorize an entire community while living under the roof of Chicago Housing Authority. And if nobody else goes say it, MOCA damn sure is going to say it. And if it didn't get worse with the 21-year-old, the same little boy walked up to the autistic young man's little sister, 10 years old, while at school, and he slapped her senseless. Bright Elementary, something is wrong with you. All of this took place inside that same damn school where Miss Hatter and her son were attacked outside. And instead of protecting her, instead of stepping in, instead of calling the parents or disciplining the children, that school ain't do shit. Nothing. That little girl was just like Miss Hatter's son. She was scared to go to school. Her mama said she didn't want to go to school. Do y'all understand the level of fear a child has to feel to want to stay home instead of going to school? That's trauma. It's trauma. And it didn't stop at that school. They brought it to her home. They didn't just leave it at the school. They didn't just leave it outside on the grass. They broke into that mama's window. They kick her door in. Little children. A pack of fucking demons kicked that lady's door in the projects like they were the law enforcement. And yet the housing authority did nothing. Nobody stepped in. That lady said, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, because the ringleader lives above me. Can you imagine? You get your windows busted, your doors kicked in, your autistic son beaten unconscious, your daughter slapped at school, and the ringleader live right above your head. You hear him inside those raggedy ass apartments. And the sad part about it is both mothers warned the school, and the school ignored them. Both of them. They both said they complained for months. And the mother of the autistic son said, she told the school, she said, I warned y'all. I've been telling y'all. Why haven't y'all done nothing a long time ago? This been going on, and it ain't just started here. It ain't gonna end here. See, a real mother knows when danger is brewing. She knows. And when she goes to a school repeatedly and nothing happens, that's negligence. Chicago public schools refused to comment. CPS was contacted. They refused to comment. When a school refuses to comment, that means they know they dropped the ball. They know there were warnings. They know that there's a paper trail. And that means they're protecting themselves and not these children. Whew. This is horrible. Horrible, I say, horrible. Let me grab some of these comments. Before I get to this housing authority. Ann says, it's a shame when we can't step out our house and have to worry about unnecessary nonsense. And that part, and then with children. I wish the hell I would. For these children to think it's okay to put their hands on strangers, they better learn they're going to get themselves hurt. This is 2025. No one is exempt anymore. And that's a fact, and that is a fact. Sean said, just raggedy, broke ass scavengers. Sis, that's what they are. Sunshine said, Mocha, this is some diabolical bullshit doing that to that lady. They did so much more. Dorothy Ann says, Mocha, did you hear about the other mother and her children getting jumped in another state? No, girl. No, I haven't run across that one yet, Dorothy. Haven't run across that one yet. Rashina said, the mayor still haven't spoken on this situation, and that bothers me. Sis, I haven't heard nothing about her family yet, Sean. Nothing. Maybe she's there alone. I don't know. Samantha says the mayor doesn't care about us. He cares more for the illegal immigrants more than us. And that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Ann says some of these mothers are too busy running these streets. They don't care about where their children are, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Platt says Chicago about like Detroit with the crime. Age don't matter either. And you know that is so unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Ann said this happened here last year in Philly. A group of children jumped a 72-year-old man, beat him in the head with a traffic cone. Oh my God, unalived him. They're being charged as adults, as they should. As they should. I'm sick of these little children. They're around here, running around here with grown people behavior in midget bodies. Oh, no, 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 no. Sean said, talking about, don't act like y'all wasn't out there at that age beating up crackheads. Nah, bitch, I would never. I was raised right. That part, Sean. That part. I don't understand some of these people. Samantha, you're right. It could have been an initiation, but that long? The same children? So here we go. Trumbull Park Homes, owned and operated by the Chicago Housing Authority. Listen to this, y'all. I want y'all to hear me well, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Because here we have these hoes getting online, talking about this and talking about that, and yeah, that's what they're doing. We wasn't raised like that. And remember the little girl that came on and she said she better than those other children. They got this and they got that. Hear me out. Hear me out. We going to this housing authority. $1 billion worth of failure. This part pisses me all the way off. It ain't just about a couple of badass children. It's about a housing authority with $1 billion budget that has failed the entire community. Listen to this. The residents of that community, that project sits right in the middle of South Deering. Everybody that stays there, guys, nobody pays rent. Let's talk about that. Nobody. They don't pay rent. They don't pay gas, electric, water. They don't pay that. There's no elevator there. There's no application fee. There's no drug screening to get in. And the only requirement that this complex has, in order for you to be a tenant there, you have to work a minimum of 20 hours a week. That's the only requirement. On paper, that sounds like affordable housing. That sounds like an opportunity. That sounds like structure on paper. But in reality and in real life, behind closed doors, that's a damn war zone. A damn war zone. Let me break this down for y'all so y'all can understand what I just said. That housing authority for the year of 2025 alone, they had a $1.3 billion budget. Yeah, y'all heard me. Billion with a B. They allocated $47 million alone for resident services. Now, all of this is free money coming from the government. Hear me well. They allocated $47 million from the government. That was supposed to be for youth programs, family support, mental health, guidance, supervision, community development. Y'all know that kind of shit. Crisis intervention. All the things needed to prevent exactly what we're seeing today from that complex. They allocated over $7 million for security and cameras. $7 million for cameras and upgrade. Yet somehow the only footage we ever see is the little thugs recording their crimes. So you got that kind of money from the government. You ain't paying a damn thing to live there. But yet, here we're dealing with an autistic man being beaten unconscious, a mother and a son being jumped in the street, 10-year-old girl slapped in school, broken windows, doors kicked in, fires set outside people's apartment, kids roaming like a wolf pack, ringing. Oh, no. That housing authority never intervened. Leanne, my girl, I want this housing authority to answer the people and let us know where that $47 million in resident services went. Where did the $7 million in cameras go? Why residents are unprotected in $1 billion system? Why does a complex under CHA jurisdiction has turned into a playground for violence? Both mothers said they contacted the authority and were ignored. Broken windows, ignored. Doors kicked in, ignored. Reports of bullying, ignored. Assaults at school, ignored. Fire attempts, ignored. And the response from the housing authority, nothing. But then they come out and they want to react after the video goes viral. Now they want to move this young lady. Now they want to offer relocation. Now they want to get involved. Nah, baby. Why does a black mother have to get beaten on the internet for the housing authority to care about her? That's who stepped in and relocated her, y'all. Why does a child have to be dragged on camera for the housing authority to wake up? Why does an autistic man have to be left unconscious for somebody to say, maybe we should check on the families in that unit? This is pure institutional neglect. This is not poverty. This is not coincidence. This is not unfortunate events. This right here, systemic, long-standing, multi-generational neglect. That's what the hell it is. This what happens when people in charge of $1 million stop giving a damn about the people who live under them. Trumbull Park is not just failing families. It's creating more and more broken families. They didn't just drop the ball. They threw it in the goddamn trash. And then they acted surprised. They acted surprised when all of this shit unfolded. I want y'all to look at this with me. Because the more I think about it, the madder I get. These people is living in a place where gas bills is covered. Light bill covered. Water bill covered. Application fee, they ain't got none. Don't need no drug screening. A little 20-hour-a-week work requirement. And congratulations. You're now a resident of the projects. On paper, all this shit sounds like a blessing of the century. In reality, it's like they say, come on in. We're going to make sure your utilities are paid while your mental health, your safety, and your goddamn children's sanity go straight to hell. Don't tell me about money. You have money. See, I get irritated when systems like that start talking limited resources, and we're doing our best. Baby, y'all done passed a $1.3 billion budget. Billion. You got $47 million for resident services, over $7 million for cameras and security upgrade. So you can put cameras on buildings, or at least you say you did, but you can't advocate for the people. You pay these people's light bills. You keep the lights on, but the soul of the community dies. You're luring people into this raggedy ass complex with the promise that they won't have to worry about gas, water, and lights. But you put them in an environment where they got to worry about whether their child is coming home alive. This damn complex is out here bragging on 465 renovated units. Oh, they units renovated? What the hell? Not when I see all of them broken windows and plywood on the windows. The spirits of the people living inside those units are raggedy from trauma. You keeping the lights on, bitch, but you're letting the devil move freely in the hallways out there. How do you continuously let a pack of kids take over your property? How does a group of kids, not grown men with weapons, not a cartel, not a gang with outside backing, just some damn children, how did it get to do all of this? You ain't just creating housing. You're creating generational PTSD, in my opinion. This ain't just about some damn scary moments. Hey, Colette, welcome, boo. This is long-term damage. Long-term damage. And all of this is happening under the umbrella of the Chicago Housing Authority, while they sit on their asses on $1 billion budget in some conference room, sipping coffee and voting on camera contracts. They only move people after the damage is done, y'all. Now they're saying we're helping to relocate the family for their safety. What? You waited until the world saw the umbilical. Now you care. Where was this urgency when the bricks were being thrown at the window? When the doors got kicked in? Where was that urgency? They need to be questioned. If you live in that housing complex, if your tax dollars that fund them, if you got family in these goddamn projects, you have every right to ask, what are you doing with the money? Where's the resident safety plan? Where's the intervention team? Where are the trained staff walking this property? Where are the results? Because as far as I could see, all that's there is trauma, unchecked violence, and kids who feel like they run the whole damn city. That place is a symptom of a much bigger disease to come. This is sad. This is sad. And before, it's like, for a fact, I know what's not being talked about in the news about that complex. It ain't being reported, and sure in the hell ain't being admitted by the complex. I've seen public housing before. I know what boarded up units mean. I know what plywood on windows mean. I know what a locked abandoned apartment really represents. And that complex has more boarded up units than they're admitting. They have more boarded up units than they're truly reporting. You think those plywood covered windows and empty apartments are just renovations? Hell no. It's a crime scene waiting to happen. It's a magnet, an invitation. Those boarded up windows. It's a breeding ground for everything a community is terrified of. This is where drug dealers set up shop. This is where addicts hide to use. Predators pull their victims in there. Assaults happen. Trafficking happens. Teenagers sneak in. Rapist goes there. Guns get stashed. Runaways get exploited. A boarded up unit is the housing authority saying, we don't have the manpower to fix it. We don't have the desire to secure it. We don't care enough to protect you, but we got the money from the state though. How the hell you decide to board up a community and expect it to survive? When you board up multiple apartments in one complex, you creating a secluded ecosystem of crime. That's not housing. That's a damn petri dish of pain. The kids who are ready running wild, believe it or not, they use those units. Those boarded up spaces become their headquarters. Them children running through that complex terrorizing people, that's their hideout. That's their meeting spots. And that's their safe zone to be unsafe. That project is a secluded war zone. It is its own mini city, a city with no rules, no supervision, no accountability, and no goddamn oversight. It's built on state fundings, but kept alive by federal dollars. And rotten at its foundation because the people running it don't give a damn. It's a little city of darkness. That's what it is, where anything goes. Noise is normal over there. Violence is routine. Trauma is inherited. Where kids roam. It ain't nothing. Boarded units, crime all over again. Everybody's in fear. Everybody is in fear. But as long as the funding keeps coming, the suffering gonna continue. They get federal allocations. They get state funded money. And the truth is, the more broken the community looks, the more underfunded they could claim to be. Y'all heard what I said? That's why they got it looking like that. The more broken that community looks, the more underfunded they could put on paper and qualify for more money. The more grant money flows in. That is why nothing changes. This is why unit stays boarded up. And this is why them kids running those hallways and doing what they're doing. This is why doors is getting kicked in, bricks getting thrown. Because the suffering is profitable. The suffering is profitable. The neglect is sustainable. The misery has been subsidized. That housing authority knows exactly how many units are boarded. They knows exactly which families are being terrorized. They know which floors are safe and which are nightmares. They know exactly what residents have been reporting for months, and they still sit on their ass and waited for a viral video. Can't call yourself a housing authority when the only thing you authorize is chaos. Hmm. And housing authority is not managing. It's not managing housing, it's not protecting families, and it's not rebuilding communities. They've turned public housing into a crisis production line, a trauma assembly line. They patch walls, but they're ignoring these wounds. You board up a unit, you lose a family. See, when they board up a unit, they don't just block a door. They shut down safety. They shut down visibility. They shut down community watch. A boarded unit becomes a black hole. No witness, no neighbors, no eyes, no sound. It becomes a place for anything evil to take place. Can you imagine how many assaults happen in those abandoned apartments? How many children get lured into those dark ass hallways? How many addicts pass out in those empty ass units? And how many predators wait inside them? We don't know. But that housing authority knows. This shit ain't news to them. This place has become a city within a city. A place where the police don't even want to go there. No accountability. No safety nets. No consequences. It's a lawless zone pretending to be affordable housing. A little city where predators roam. Children run free and mothers pray they wake up the next morning with their sanity intact. That housing complex, state funded, is the real God they're serving. They're not motivated by compassion nor community care. Damn sure ain't about safety. They're motivated by the money. Hey, Tina Powers, welcome, my love. Suffering is part of their business model. This is why nothing changes. This is why the violence keeps getting worse. This is why boarded units are boarded and why drug activity stays high and the predators walk free. Because that housing authority benefits. Hear me and hear me well. They benefit from the appearance of crises. Because what we do know is that crises equals funding. Trauma equals grants. High need communities equals money. They don't need to fix a damn thing. They just need to document it, y'all. They just need to document it. And that's what they're doing. These people are getting rich of these, so say, residents' pain. This is sad. But you got a nerve to want to play hero after the damage is done. You want to act concerned now. You want to be hands-on. You just relocated this mother and her son. Where was that energy when she was begging y'all months ago? Where was that energy when the autistic boy got beat up? Where was it? Y'all ain't failing these people by accident. Y'all doing this shit by design. Y'all ain't ignoring the problems. Y'all creating them. And as long as the funding keeps coming, as long as the funding keeps coming, Black people, you all need to understand in Chicago and everywhere else if this shit is going on, but Chicago, I'm speaking to y'all tonight. As long as that funding keep going in that project, Black people's pain is very profitable. Very profitable. But y'all don't see that though. Y'all don't see that. So tonight, MOCA's going to rename Trumbull Park. Because clearly, The Chicago Housing Authority don't even recognize what they're running. This ain't no goddamn community. This ain't no neighborhood. And it sure in the hell ain't no family housing. This place is the forgotten fucking city. A city they don't check, they don't protect, they don't regulate, they don't monitor, they don't maintain, they don't invest in it at all, except for on paper. They don't have to collect rent. Chicago Housing Authority don't lose no sleep over what's happening inside those units because the government pays them regardless. Every month, on time, with no complaints. You think they care if families are scared? If kids are getting jumped? Hell no. Because they know that check dropping on the first of every month, whether you live, die, cry, moan, move, suffer, scream, they don't give a damn. Why fix a community that pays you even when it's broken? Hey, Amity, welcome, sister. Happy Tuesday. These people took state and federal funds for camera installations and security upgrades. And half of those complexes don't even have cameras. And the ones that do exist, they don't record shit because they broke. So you mean to tell me the only chaos footage we ever see is from the badass children filming their own crime? Chicago Housing Authority, where are your cameras? Where's the monitors? Where's the footage? Where's the damn receipt? They can't answer that because they did put it in a budget, but it's in somebody's pocket. They lied about having maintenance. If they really had on-property maintenance, y'all, if they really invested those millions and billions into upkeep, if they were really maintaining 465 workable units, why the hell are these doors boarded up? Windows covered with plywood, hallways dark, ceilings collapsing, and residents got to fix shit themselves because the maintenance that they claim to hire don't exist. The money got taken. The position was created on paper. The invoices got signed, but the work ain't never showed up, y'all. This is a little city designed to rot quietly. They don't need to fix shit. And the reason why they don't have to never fix nothing is because nobody's checking behind them. Nobody's checking behind them. Not the city, not the state, not the federal auditors, damn sure not the mayor, not the board, the media, the school, nobody. Nobody watches what work or doesn't work because all the government see is, on paper, units occupied, funding allocated, paper submitted, boxes checked off, rent paid by the state. That's it. That's the whole operation right there. And what these people in this complex don't realize, they are a statistic. They're only numbers. They're fill in the blank bodies. That's what the hell they are. And let me tell you the real reason it's forgotten. It's called, MOCA calls it the fucking forgotten city because no one with power has to live there. None of the board members, The policymakers, the contractors, the architects, inspectors, the mayor, nobody lived there. So it's easy to forget a city you ain't never had to survive in. It's easy to ignore trauma you never had to walk through. And it's easy to collect checks from misery when you don't have to feel the damn pain. That's how easy it is. But then we have to ask the question, what happens now? What happens now that Chicago has been exposed? What happens now that the world can no longer pretend this was an isolated incident? What happens now that we know the school failed, the parents failed, the housing authority failed, and the system failed? School that can't protect children, that's not a school. It's a dangerous building. Housing authority got $1 billion budget and board rooms full of employees. But they got mamas in their complexes living like they're in a damn horror movie. Are they going to investigate the park? Are they going to investigate the property? Are they going to admit to boarding up the units? Are they going to explain why no cameras work? Or are they just going to wait for the next viral video to pretend they care again? What do we do with the parents of these kids? Because at some point, somebody got to knock on their doors and ask them, why are your children out here acting like this? Somebody got to ask them why their kids are allowed to terrorize vulnerable people. Somebody got to ask them, why do these kids have more freedom than grown adults in that complex? What happens to the community? What happens? These kids, yes, they're minors. Hey, PJ, welcome, my love. They're minors. Yes, they deserve intervention and they deserve rehabilitation. They deserve resources. But children don't get to roam around terrorizing families like it's a pastime. They don't. Not in my eyes. Not in my eyes. At all. And I'm going to make something very clear before anybody try to twist my words or get sensitive. I'm not about to sit here and coddle a pack of violent degenerates who've spent months terrorizing families. I'm not about to light candles and sing lullabies for children who've been dragging mothers, beating disabled men, slapping little girls, breaking windows, kicking doors, starting fires, filming their own assaults like they're on World Star and laughing while doing it. No, ma'am, no, sir, no how. I ain't doing that shit. Because when it comes to these children, intervention ain't enough. A talking to ain't enough. A slap on the wrist ain't enough. These kids are out of damn control. These kids are out of control, meaning being out there the way they are, right? But these kids are not out of control. They're in control of everything around them. Any child that's bold enough to beat a 21-year-old autistic man bold enough to drag and stomp a mama, beat a child, slap children at school, kick in doors, set fires. You know, if you could do all of that, you're a danger to yourself and everybody else. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And if these parents can't handle them, then in MOCA's opinion, somebody else needs to. I ain't advocating abuse, not mistreatment, none of that. I'm advocating removal. Removal from the environment, removal from the complex, and removal from the community that they're terrorizing. Some of these kids need to be placed in structured environments where adults with backbones, training, and authority could deal with their asses, because clearly the parents cannot. Because if you could beat grown folks, you could face the consequences. You want to act grown, then unfortunately, grown consequences will follow you. I don't feel sorry for the behavior. I don't feel sorry for the choices. I don't feel sorry for the terror. I feel sorry for the victims. Those are the ones society should be crying for, not the damn predators. No more excuses. I don't want to hear they're just kids. These ain't no damn toddlers. I don't want to hear they need love. Plenty of abused kids don't turn into aggressors. I don't want to hear they need counseling. Hell no, they need consequences. I don't want to hear they'll grow out of it. Hell no, because leaving you to believe that they're going to grow out of it, they're going to grow into something worse. That's what's going to happen. If these kids are not stopped now, they will become adult predators with childhood practice. And that is why accountability is not optional for me. It's necessary. It's necessary. This makes no sense. And these mamas that on social media defending these children, you hoes are the root of the problem. Jumping online defending these raggedy, wild, violent ass children, y'all are truly the problem. Y'all ain't raising children, y'all raising threats. Every time I go online, I see one of y'all loud, wrong, delusional ass women. My baby would never. Y'all lying on my child. They just kids. Everybody bullied my baby. Y'all picking on these children. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And stop addressing them as a baby. They did it. They've been doing it. They go keep doing it. And you the reason nobody could stop them. You the reason nobody could stop them. See them that's hollering, not my child. That not my child kind of mama. The one who child been terrorizing the entire complex for months. But she never saw a damn thing. She'll cuss out the victims, the families, the teachers, but never her kid. Making excuses. Oh, she just misunderstood. They jealous of her. It was a misunderstanding. No, bitch, it was no misunderstanding. This was a damn pattern. Then the one that's playing like she a social media attorney, advocating and shit. Bitch, stop hopping online. Writing dissertations, paragraph essays, defending the undefendable instead of disciplining the undisciplined. Bitch, stop. Even if you show the video, the angle, the face, the timestamp, she's still saying it ain't her. These mamas don't want accountability. They want sympathy. They want the world to feel bad for their child instead of making that child feel consequences. They want the world to look at their child like a victim while other people's children are the ones getting slapped, jumped, dragged, and traumatized. Hell to the no. Mamas are supposed to be the first line of defense, and these hoes have failed miserably. Kids don't act like this. Kids don't develop wolf pack behavior in a structured home when they have real mothers. But they're acting out because of the type of parents they got raising them. You can't defend a child that you never disciplined, bitch. Who told you that? You can't defend a child that you let raise them damn selves. You cannot defend the child. You only notice when CPS come knocking. And you damn sure can't defend a child who's been terrorizing a complex for years. How you defend a child that you never told no to? But what gets me the most? How do you jump into the social media world trying to defend a child who's afraid of nothing, not even you? These hoes that ran a social media because they want applause for being irresponsible. They want validation for failing as a parent. They want the internet to back them up so they don't have to face the truth. Let me tell you hoes something. Your child is a problem. Your child is a liability. Your child is a danger. And you are the first point of failure. You can't scream, protect our black children, and then ignore that it's these same little black children that's causing harm. And we can't keep screaming that it takes a village and then attack the villages every damn time your child is held accountable. These defensive ass mamas don't want justice. They want immunity. Well, not tonight. You ain't getting it. Not here. You just can't. Because I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me. A lot of these mamas, they weren't defending their children. They were defending their pockets. MOCA, what are you talking about? And when I say they weren't defending their children, they were defending their pockets. Listen and listen well. The very second that lady got attacked, right? Before she could even speak, before her voice even hit the internet, before she could tell her side, these same mamas were already online calling her a liar. They were already saying she made shit up. They were already spreading rumors and twisting shit. But why? We wondered, why were they doing this to this lady, knowing she had been through all that she's been through? I'm going to tell you why. See, scammers panics before the truth comes out. And let's break down the timeline, y'all, because it ain't hard to see. The attack happened. The video circulated. The world saw it. That lady didn't say a word publicly. But the mamas, they was online calling her everything but a child of God, saying she was exaggerating, claiming their children ain't do nothing. dragging her name everywhere. Why were they talking before her? Hey, Carla Henry, welcome, my love. Why were they outraged before the city even processed that video, y'all? Why were they doing PR cleanup when ain't nobody asked them to? Y'all ever thought about that? They did all of that because they had something to protect, and it damn sure wasn't their kids. You know who jumps first? Those that jumps first are always the guilty ones. People who benefit from chaos. People who are part of the mess. People who don't want the truth hitting their doorstep. Make it make sense, y'all. Then all of a sudden, fake GoFundMe accounts pop up. All before this mama even spoke publicly. Here we got fake GoFundMe pages under her name. Fake accounts trying to capitalize off of her trauma. Thousands of dollars rolling in before she even opened her mouth. And you mean to tell me that's random? You mean to tell me that's outsiders? You mean to tell me that strangers who just happen to create a fundraiser for a woman who hadn't spoken yet? Man, come on. Come the hell on. The same mamas who defended them kids are the same ones quiet as hell about that money. Y'all ever notice that? They loud screaming, not my baby. They loud about she lying. They loud about she started it, but they're quiet as a mouse about those $200,000 that was raised in that fake ass GoFundMe account. They weren't defending their children. What they were doing was deflecting their own involvement, because if you deflect first, you could distract the public. You could confuse the narrative. You can paint yourself as the victim, as we've seen happen in these YouTube streets so many times. You could do that before anybody gets a chance to ask the right questions. That's why they hit the internet so hard, so loud, and so damn fast and disrespectful. They needed to get ahead of the story. And that's what scammers do. That's what scammers do. See, the real GoFundMe barely hit 40K, but that fake one ran up over $200,000. And you expect me to believe that that shit is random? Child, please. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Some of these mamas still were not protecting their children. They were protecting the part that they played. And that's what makes them a part of the problem. The truth that they didn't want to tell, but we told it anyway. Tonight we told the truth. The truth that the city tried to bury. We told the truth about the parents that tried to deflect. That ragged ass housing authority tried to hide behind paperwork. The school hiding behind silence. No comment. We told the truth that they were too scared, too guilty, and too invested to say. But let me say this. Every single piece of chaos that happened in that forgotten fucking city, everything we talked about tonight was preventable. If the school did their job, this wouldn't have happened. If the parents did their job, none of this would have happened. If the housing authority did their job, this would have been avoidable. If anybody had stepped in months ago when these families were begging for help, we wouldn't be here tonight. But instead, they were ignored. Kids were abandoned. Residents left unprotected. Shit happened. And the people who caused the pain were louder than the people who suffered from it. We live in a country, y'all, where viral videos get more action than victims. Nobody steps up until the world watches. Nobody cares until it's shareable. Nobody answers until the truth is unavoidable. Chicago didn't wake up out of responsibility. Chicago woke up out of embarrassment. And tonight, I made sure y'all should not be able to go back to sleep. Y'all shouldn't. Accountability is coming, whether they want it or not. Because when the mothers speak, the world listens. When the truth comes out, the lies crumble. When the community rises, the silence breaks. And when people get tired, things change. For every mother that's raising babies in a forgotten city, I hope you feel seen tonight. Every child that's living in chaos out there somewhere, I pray you feel protected. And every disabled person, I hope you feel covered. Every system, I don't give a damn where you are, that's failing these families. Every system needs to be exposed. Expose them loudly, unapologetically, and relentlessly until somebody gets off their ass and fix it. And guys, this has been our segment tonight. We came out here and we did what we were supposed to do. Here the truth don't get pretty. It gets told. Because here we stand purpose over popularity all day long. This has been MOCA Unfiltered. And I wish that you guys stand in agreement for justice, for everything that's going wrong in this world today. See something, say something. See something, say something. Because these children, we're losing them one by one. And these parents, they need to understand, if you're overwhelmed and you can't control something that you brought into this world, call somebody. Call somebody and let somebody else do what you can't with your own. Let somebody else do what you can't with your own. And on that note, guys, we're going to get up out of here. We may be back on tomorrow around the same time. I'm not sure because we're leading up to Thanksgiving and everybody's busy, including me. When I hopped on tonight, I had only been home not even a full hour. So it's hectic. So we're going to be back here. Get hip hop. What's going on? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been? It's good seeing you, boo. But we're going to be back here, y'all. We're going to keep doing what we do. Oh, Lord, he's been missing notifications. I'm on every night. Doing what I do. Doing what I do. But nonetheless, it's good to see you, boo. And you know you are always welcome, sister. We just bring the news. That's it. That's all. And we break it down the way that we break it down. And I've always told you all, I don't care if it's 2 people in here or 20 people in here. We have a message to deliver. We have lives to save. And we're going to do it with respect. We're going to do it with respect. And we're going to come here day after day, night after night, doing the same thing, advocating for these children. A failed generation is a lost world. Is indeed a lost world. So guys, on this note, I'm going to say good night. I'm going to say God bless. I'm going to get up from here and, hey, beautiful soul, welcome. Thank you, Sassy. Guys, I got some things to finish doing tonight so I don't be caught up and left behind because it's a lot. It's a weekend. Well, not the weekend. It's a holiday weekend for real coming up. And we all going to be busy. My boy said, I'm going to pay my rent soon. About to start a new job at the plant. I hear you, boo. Congratulations on that. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be blessed. I love you all. Believe that. I love you all. And I'll see you guys next time. And remember, here we stand tall. We all we got. Sean said, don't forget to take your turkeys out the freezer. I did that yesterday, my love. But for those of you who haven't, get those turkeys out of that freezer. Mariah, hey, boo. For those of you that missed the live, make sure you catch that replay. Hit the thumbs up for your girl. Share out that live. Leave me a comment. And we go chat it up. Replay gang, I love you guys. God bless you all. Good night.
Ain't no faking the funk, ain't no playing for clout. You bring that mess, we gon' sort that out. But this ain't about drama, it's about love, it's about healing, it's about trust. Every child, every voice, every name in the breeze. We gon' stand for the ones no one else gon' see. So we rise tall, we rise as one. Oh no, no bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care and everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide, where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. We rise as one. No the bells, the work ain't done. No, to lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care are everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is Enola Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Stand tall and join the family.
Good night, everyone. God bless.